Hey everyone, Mike here. I just want to do a quick intro on an interview that Kellye did with Miss Christine. And you'll see the video, and it's unbelievable, her story. But the first thing she does is call cancer a shit show, because that's exactly what it is, with the bills and the surgeries and the unknown. And then she actually calls it a second career, because if you've watched the Kathleen video, you have to become your own advocate and research and figure out what different treatments could work. That's what Kathleen did, and that's what Christine did, to try and figure out what might work and help her doctors guide them along the way and help them with different treatments that she can find online. So anyway, she goes back and forth to MD Anderson, which is one of the best hospitals in the country for cancer. But tune in, watch Christine talk about the shit show and second career job of fighting cancer.
I mean, it has become my second career. I was diagnosed September 20th of 2018, thinking that it was, just a tumor that they could extract and do some chemo, follow up, maybe some radiation, and I should be well on my way. Soon found out that wasn't the case at all. So I'd gone through 7 months of chemo, then I had the surgery in May of 2019, and when they took out the tumor, they realized after getting the pathology back on that tumor that it was two different types of cancer inside one tumor, which is a very, very rare form of breast cancer known as metaplastic carcinoma.
Oh my gosh.
So after that, it was some resections because the cancer had already reappeared, and I went through 7 surgeries, 7 different resections, and then did 7 weeks of daily radiation as well. And here today, I travel back and forth to Houston, Texas, working with the folks down at MD Anderson and Texas Methodist on a clinical trial I was in all summer long. Didn't get great results back from that, so they sent me back home to Louisville, which I'm currently out at the Norton Cancer Institute, and they are, right now they're starting me on a new chemotherapy drug called Trodelvy, which its nickname is Sassy.
I've heard
So
that.
I've had 3 cycles of that so far, just finished up the 3rd cycle today. So we'll see what happens. I get scans on the 26th, and we're just hoping for
fingers
some
crossed.
movement. Yeah.
So I was reading a little bit of your story. So you were first diagnosed, they thought it was ER negative, PR negative, and HER2 negative?
Right. They originally thought it was triple negative breast cancer.
Oh my
Right.
goodness. I mean, that's triple whammy right there.
Yeah, that is in itself a rare type of breast cancer as well, the triple negative. But, and then of course, the devastating diagnosis of metaplastic carcinoma just made it that much worse. And it's like, what gives? I mean, come on, let's just get some good news somewhere.
So 2 years now you've been battling it.
Yeah.
And so I believe your friend said in here that the doctors figured out after you got 7 months of chemo that they should have just taken it out to begin
Right.
with.
Yeah, you talk to the cancer folks down in Texas, and I think that was their concern from the very beginning was, wow, if you were here, we would have taken the tumor out first and already known what we were going up against, And I don't second guess what my doctors have done. Heck, I'm not a cancer, I didn't know anything about cancer, very little, except for my friend having it and going through it as well. And, it kind of is what it is. And every day is different, every day.
How did you find out? Did you wake up one day and you had a lump, or was
Yeah,
it just...
I did. I had a lump that was obvious to the touch in a self-breast exam, and it hurt. And I thought, wow, I got to get this straightened out, or find out what's going on here. And I did. I called into my primary care physician, and she saw me right away. And she thought, well, it might be a cyst, so let's maybe do a needle aspiration or a biopsy and see what we have. And within 3 days, they had me in and out. And
Had you on a plan?
yeah,
Wow.
yeah. And boy, what a plan it was. Because when you get diagnosed with cancer, it's first of all, it's so overwhelming. And then you add on top of that your cancer team. Here are the folks that are going to walk this shit show with you. And you meet your radiologist, your oncologist, your surgeon. You meet all these people and your head is spinning. And it's like, wow. So no sooner than it takes you the time to absorb the fact that you have cancer, then you have a whole network of people advocating and looking out for you. So
Yeah, you have a pretty good caregiver, I think.
I've got some great caregivers.
some good support.
Call them the Hancock handlers. They're,
Oh, there you go. That's a
they
good
are
team
awesome.
name.
I got a great team. And yeah, and if it wasn't for Jen and what she had gone through previously, because she has cancer as well.
Right.
You know, she was the first person that I called. I didn't know who to reach out to.
Well, we talked about it. You have to have an advocate. So
Yes.
It's good that you have
And you have to
someone
be
like
your
that.
own advocate
You do.
too.
Yeah.
Because I tell you what, girl, I've fired 2 doctors and everything else.
That's good, though. I mean, you got to stand up for yourself.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So you traveling to MD Anderson, how was insurance with all of that?
Well, you know, they weren't great with it.
No,
you know,
yeah.
that's considered out of network, and
Yeah.
then you have to pay all. They were okay to cover like scans and things like that, but they weren't going to cover any kind of a surgery or anything like that MD Anderson would want to do, or any kind of genetic testing
Well,
too.
when you're down there, I'm sure you have to pay for your food
Oh
and
yeah,
your
I had to
stay,
pay for
and that's
everything.
all out of your
Everything.
pocket.
Everything.
I mean, how was that? Was that hard?
Well, I thought, you know, if I'm meant to be there, it's going to work out. And just by happenstance, we were able to meet some good people down in Houston, Texas. And it's like my sister city now. And got some lodging at a discounted rate because it was going to be long term. It was throughout the summer. So everything ended up working out without a hitch, believe it or not. That was the easy part.
Wow.
You know, the hard part's just, you know, the cancer
Doing it,
and
yeah.
everything that deals with that. But I was very, very surprised. Southwest, thank God, Southwest Airline continued to fly throughout the pandemic in the height of it.
Yeah, I didn't think about
And
that.
there was one trip from Louisville to Houston where there was 3 people on the plane. Me, another caregiver friend of ours, and another lady. And that was it. 3 people on the plane.
Yeah, it's a wonder they even flew.
Yeah, I know.
Probably cost them more to do that.
I
than-
know it.
That's crazy. Well, and she also said something about, so this clinical trial drug, is that the sassy or is that?
No, that was how they coded it as LNMMA. It completes its trial process in December, and they'll write the articles and the opinions about it. And it had worked for them. There's 52 women in that trial, and I was very lucky to be selected for that anyway. And it just didn't work for me.
No.
You know, it
Well,
just
that shouldn't have cost you anything, right? Since it was a
progressing.
trial.
Right.
That's good.
And none of the medications or scans associated with that trial didn't cost me anything.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
Sucks it didn't work for you, but you know, at least you tried it.
Right.
So now sassy. So what are they kind of giving you prognosis wise? I mean, is it looking good?
You know, I don't know. I don't have the typical side effects that you would have with chemo. I've had some very, you know, light side effects, light nausea, heavy fatigue though. On the 7 months of chemo that I was on, which was the normal course of cancer treatment back in 2018, I sailed through that with flying colors. This medication though is it's a little
you
bit
tired.
stronger. They call it very, very toxic.
Wow.
And you know, that's scary when you're sitting in the chemotherapy room and the nurses
yeah.
come in and they're in spacesuits.
Oh,
and you're
gosh.
like, you're going to inject that into
Yeah,
me?
you're putting
Wow.
poison in your
Yeah.
body. Well, that's crazy. Well, you look great.
Thank you.
I was surprised. She said you were wanting to come here after chemo, and I was like, oh, well, if she can do it, I can do it.
I usually feel good after chemo. It's the
Yeah.
steroids.
Yeah, there you go. Well, it's October, so Breast Cancer Awareness Month,
That's
and
right.
just make sure we do our self-exams, and, you know, you're constantly checking, but it seems like you're doing good, and, you know.
Yeah, good Lord willing.
Yeah.
I'm still here, and I can still advocate for myself and advocate for other women going through, especially triple negative breast cancer. And kind of what bothers me a little bit is there could have been another biopsy that I could have gotten that probably would have picked up the other cancer involved with the original tumor. And, you know, insurance-wise, they're only going to let you have one biopsy. They're not going to
Ain't
go
that
for
terrible?
two. Right. So I just am just a very, very strong advocate of if a woman gets diagnosed with triple-negative breast cancer, getting that second biopsy and, you know, trying to figure out the pathology in it. Because I think a lot of women that have triple-negative breast cancer may actually, in fact, have metaplastic carcinoma and not know it.
I mean, how rare is that?
It's 1%.
You're 1%?
I'm a 1%.
Oh, I just got goosebumps.
I know. I knew
Oh
I
my
was special and
gosh.
unique, but I didn't know I was going to be in the 1% club.
Oh
But
my
yes,
God,
that's
1%. That's hard to believe.
yeah.
So 2 cancers in 1 tumor,
Right.
and all it would have taken was a second biopsy.
I think, yeah. And talking to some other medical experts, because like I said, I'm no expert. It's just my second career. But I've learned a lot. And I think that a second biopsy, maybe a couple weeks out, would have maybe caught it.
Well, see, it's things like that. That's kind of why we do these, so that other women can hear about that. I mean,
Right.
I had no idea. So,
Yeah.
you know, if you can give other people that information, you know, hopefully you save someone else.
Sure.
So that's awesome. Well, I don't know how much Jen told you. We obviously wanted to get you in here and tell your story, but Mike's got a little something that he wants to give you. So we'll show you real quick.
Okay. So you can put those boots on?
Yeah, right. Get his kiss boots. We wanted to give
wow.
you a $500 check.
Wow, thank you so
You're
much.
welcome.
Thank you. That
Yeah.
yes, every little bit helps. Thank
Yeah.
you, and it all adds up. Thank you
Jennifer
so
just
much.
talks about how good of a friend you are, and you know how much you do for our
Wow.
community. So we just wanted to give that
That's
to you.
amazing. Thank you so
You're
much.
very welcome. Thank you. For
It'll
coming
go a
in.
long way for me. That's many, many a copay right there.
There you go. Yeah,
Thank
you're
you.
very welcome.
All right, thanks.
Hopefully do some good
Yeah.
There you go. You can
There we go.
for a little bit, but that check's no good. We got it really.
That's your
Dang.
real one.
Thank you all very much. I'm very
Of
humbled by
course.
it.
No, yeah.
And if somebody can learn something from my story, it's worth it.
Yeah,
For sure.
absolutely. That's why we do this. So, well, thank you all so much for tuning into this episode of Shirley Talk. Hopefully, you all learned something. Ladies, make sure always do your breast exams and take care of yourself and be an advocate. And like she said, fire your doctor if you don't think he's listening or she. And just your life comes first. So, thank you all so
Absolutely.
much. Make sure to watch our other videos and subscribe. Talk to you soon.
Thank you.